Are we live? Hang on a second. Are we live? Wait, one sec. Wait. Whoa. Are we live? Okay. Everybody calm down. I know there's a lot going on this week for Star Wars with the Bad Batch finale and of course another episode of The Mandalorian, episode 5, and we're hoping that it's going to be good and we're hoping it's really going to be good. But are we live? Hold on. It looks like we might just be live. We might just be. What's up, guys? It's Mike, a guy who loves Star Wars. How we doing on this fine Tuesday evening? How we doing? All right, we got a lot to talk about, of course, today with another episode of The Mandalorian coming out tomorrow. Episode 5 is coming out tomorrow. We also have the Bad Batch finale tomorrow. There's two episodes of the Bad Batch coming out tomorrow. That is episode 15 and episode 16, and they are going to be awesome. We're going to predict what's going to happen in those two episodes. We're going to predict what's going to happen in the Mandalorian episode, but we also got some Star Wars news to talk about. We got some Acolyte news. We got some BOBA FETT possibly being in the Mandalorian news. We got some Bob Iger laying off 7,000 people news. We got some Lucasfilm news in general, some Kathleen Kennedy news, and just some fun stuff to go over. So it's going to be a fun stream. It's going to be a lot of fun. And we're trying out this new 6 p.m. type deal here because we've been doing 8 p.m. lately, and we're just seeing what's working. We're going to just figure it out together. So first of all, the Bad Batch. What do we think is going to go down in the Bad Batch this week? Last week's episode really did a good job of leading into this week's episode with Crosshair on Mount Tantus, and of course the Bad Batch having Echo come to the Bad Batch on Pabu and tell them what's kind of going on. So what do we think is going to actually happen in these final two episodes? It is the finale. The season is over after these two episodes. So what do we think is going down in the Bad Batch? Let's pull up. Well, you guys talk about that. Hang on one second. Let's pull up the names of the episodes because I know the last episode is called Plan 99. Somebody check me on that. Oh, I'm going to check myself on that. Hang on. We can find it. So the thing with the Bad Batch is, of course, it's ending tomorrow. But it's more of like, do we want a third season? Are we looking forward to a third season? There's a lot of questions that need to be asked, but I have some bold predictions about these next two episodes that could actually leave us wanting more. But here's the episode titles, okay? Here we go again. All right, here we go. So, the episode 15 and episode 16, we're getting both of them tomorrow. The first one is The Summit, and the second one is Plan 99. So I, of course, think that The Summit is referring to, of course, Mount Tantus. And Mount Tantus is going to be the cool cloning facility that we know Crosshair is at. But we also know that Dr. Hemlock really wants Omega, and that's probably what The Summit is referring to. Now, Plan 99. We've had some theories from like Star Wars Politics, who's probably in the chat right now, Star Wars Politics, and some other theories from other people. But what do you guys think Plan 99 is? So there's orders. There's Order 66, there's Order 65, there's Order 77. But this is a plan. Plan 99. What do we think Plan 99 is referring to? I have a very bold prediction. A very bold prediction on what Plan 99 is referring to. Now, a lot of people think it is a plan from the Empire to possibly take down the clones, like just all at once, because we see that the clones are being taken out slowly, like forced retirement. But I think that Plan 99 is referring to a plan from the Bad Batch to actually, like Plan 99 to each other means that they are going to sacrifice themselves to save other people. And I don't think that Plan 99 is actually going to be, of course, played out by all of the Bad Batch. I don't think they're all going to die, although we've joked about it before. Darth Vader comes in and slices all their heads off. But I think Plan 99 is something that Crosshair is going to do. And all the other Bad Batch members are going to know what he's doing as soon as he does it, and know that Crosshair is sacrificing himself for the rest of them to be saved. I think somebody's definitely going to die in these 2 episodes. Either Crosshair or Tech, I think, are the 2 higher ups on the list for possible people who are going to die in this episode. But tell me what you guys think. Do you think that somebody's going to die, and who do you think it's going to be? Maximilian says, hello from Germany. Germany? That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. What is up, Maximilian? Do you know when the new episode from The Mandalorian comes out? Well, for me, it's 3 a.m. But in Germany, I have no idea. But 3 a.m. tonight for Eastern Standard Time. So if you want to calculate that up for German time, go for it. I have no idea. I don't know. But yeah, so who do we think is going to die? I'm actually going to put up a poll on who you guys think is going to die. We'll start a poll. All right, let's just put it this way. Will one of the Bad Batch die in the finale? What do you think? Yes or no? Do you think one member of the Bad Batch, whether it be Tech, whether it be Crosshair, whether it be Wrecker, whether it be Hunter, whether it be Omega, do you think one of these people is going to die? What do we think? I think it's highly likely, and here's why. First of all, Tech, they've been setting up in a big way to come to this conclusion. Throughout this whole season, early on you had the pod racing episode with Tech that was completely centered around Tech. You've had a lot of story arcs throughout this show be centered around Tech. And he, of course, now has a love interest in Fee in these last few episodes. So they are really building up the character of Tech so that when he does die, it's going to be more heartbreaking and heart-wrenching. There's definitely no way we come out of this finale without a lost member. And I think this is also to make the 3rd season even better, because I think we're definitely getting a 3rd season. Question is, when is that 3rd season, and what the hell is it going to be about? Because if it is just, again, another thing of cloning, and it's just another 16 episodes of this get to the ship, just like stupid side missions for another 16 episodes, nobody's going to watch it. There has to actually be some sort of cool plot point going on around the Bad Batch that leads to a 3rd season. And like I said, my prediction still stands. I think the 3rd season is going to end with Darth Vader coming in and chopping all their heads off. But here's where I believe that the 3rd season is actually going to be exciting. Inquisitors. So we know that the Inquisitors are kind of the Emperor's henchmen. They're the ones who go around the galaxy during the time of the Empire, and Vader doesn't really do all that much. It's more of the Inquisitors doing all the killing for them. However, the Bad Batch is the prime time for the Inquisitors. Darth Vader's not really out doing much. He's still kind of getting used to his robotic body. But the Bad Batch is the perfect time to bring in the Inquisitors and have their fear be felt all across the galaxy. Because, as we know, there's a ton of Inquisitors. You got the Grand Inquisitor, the second sister, the third brother, the 7th quadrillionth sibling. But there's so many of them, and I feel like if they brought them all in at the same time with the Emperor to rule over the galaxy in a Bad Batch Season 3, that would be a huge draw to the new season. The Grand Inquisitor's back. All these other Inquisitors are back. It would be very, very cool, and I think it would draw a lot more fans into a 3rd season. I think it would. I really think it would. But that's really all I got for the Bad Batch. Anybody got any other predictions for this episode? My chair is stuck on something. Hang on. The Bad Batch, I think, is going to have a great finale. But again, there's still not too much to predict. We know the titles. We know that they're going to Mount Tantus. But we don't really know anything else. We don't know if one of them is going to die. We don't know if something crazy is going to happen, like Inquisitors or Palpatine shows up on Mount Tantus. However, I do have one other prediction, and it is because of leaked images. So I don't know if any of you guys got this, but on Instagram late last week, I think it was Friday last week, the Star Wars Instagram, the official Star Wars Instagram page, accidentally posted these pictures about the Bad Batch, and it was supposed to be images from the last episode, but it was images for next week's episodes, and they only kept them up there for like an hour. All the comments were like, yeah, this is about to be taken down. But the images were of Mount Tantus, the Bad Batch on Mount Tantus, like Omega Hunter Wrecker on Mount Tantus. But there was also Tarkin, Grand Moff Tarkin. He was also there in the episode. You couldn't really tell if he was on Mount Tantus or not, but he was in the episode. Now, Tarkin was in the first season. However, he has not been in the second season, like, at all. So it's going to be interesting to see why Tarkin is there, what he's doing, and whether or not other people are involved, like Palpatine. Because Palpatine, if Mount Tantus is really what Mount Tantus was in Legends, Palpatine's going to be involved, and he's going to be there at some point in time. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be very, very interesting to see how those episodes go. But we'll see. We will see. We will see. Now, I'm sure what you guys are all here for. Is Boba Fett coming? It is in the title. He's on the thumbnail. We got a lot to talk about with this Mandalorian episode. Predictions, anybody, any predictions you guys got for the Mandalorian episode 5, drop them in the chat. We'll go over all of them. But first, the runtime for this episode. Now, a lot of people were upset with last week's episode because we got Order 66 flashbacks. We got Ahmed Best back in Star Wars as Kelleran Beck, and a lot of people were upset that it was only 30 minutes, and of course the other story arc going on other than Order 66 was kind of boring, but the 30 minutes was just too short. So the runtime for this episode this week is actually 41 minutes, which is a lot better. It's a lot longer. It's no 56 minutes like the Dr. Pershing episode was, but it is a lot better. Now we're talking about 41 minutes, and I'm sure it's going to be jam-packed and awesome as always, but 41 minutes is getting back on the right track, I believe, at least. It seems to be moving in the right direction. 41 minutes is a good sign, because I think the second half, we're already in the second half of the season. Already in the second half of season 3, which is insanity. It's crazy. Crazy. Second half of the season is going to go insane. We're going to hit the ground running in this 5th episode and really builds to a climactic ending. Think about it. There's no villain right now. Some people say Bo-Katan could be a villain. She's not. She's really not. So I think Moff Gideon's coming back. He broke out of the Republic prison. His forces are way stronger than we think, and he is going to be back. Now here's the problem. Moff Gideon has not been seen in this entire season so far, and we're going into the 5th episode. So he has to come in this 5th episode. Whether or not he's alluded to or whether or not we actually see him, he has to be involved in some way. There has to be a bigger threat. And I think this 5th episode is going to do that. Because if you also look at the thumbnail of this video, you'll see Carson Teva. Now, who's Carson Teva? This handsome fella right here. Hang on. Let me pull him up. This handsome fella right here is Carson Teva. There we go. So, why is this guy so important? So before the season started, my bold predictions for this season was this guy was going to be a main character of the season. Now, so far, 4 episodes in, we haven't seen Carson yet. But I still believe that those predictions are correct. I still believe Carson Teva is going to be heavily involved in this season. And not only that, I think this next episode is going to be not like actually revolving around him, because it's going to be a Mando and Grogu story still, but I think it's going to involve him on Coruscant. Because when you watch the trailers for The Mandalorian, we have seen almost all of the scenes in those trailers, except for the ones with Carson Teva. Now, it's really strange because we're 5 episodes in, and usually the trailers for shows only give you like the first 2 episodes to not spoil anything, but Carson Teva is coming. So we're going to watch that Mandalorian trailer, actually, and we're going to look at the scenes that we haven't seen yet and what we actually have to look forward to, because what Carson Teva says in this trailer is extremely important. He is like, okay, look, there's a danger in the Outer Rim. It's growing, and we need to stop it. By the time that you notice it's actually there, it's going to be too late. He's warning us. What he's warning us about: Grand Admiral Thrawn, Moff Gideon, the First Order, we don't know yet. Supreme Leader Snoke, we don't know yet. But it's going to be extremely important in this second half of the season. Let's pull up the trailer. Let's pull up the trailer. Let's pull it up. The Mandalorian, Season 3. So this is the trailer from 2 months ago. Is that the one we want? Yes, this is the one we want. Make sure the audio's off so we don't get copy struck. All right, ready? Are you ready? All right, so this is the trailer. This was the one from 2 months ago when Mando says our people are scattered. We've seen all these scenes in the last episode. We actually haven't seen that scene yet, but I'm sure it'll be in the next episode. Then we got this scene we've already seen. That's when Grogu sees the Purgles in hyperspace, which was very cool. We've seen all these scenes, okay? But there are a few that we haven't seen yet. We saw that. We saw him go to Navarro in the first episode. We've seen all of this. Greef Karga, yeah. He's going to Mandalore. We've seen all that. We've seen all that. We've seen all that. However, we have yet to see this. We've seen Mandalore. We have seen Mandalore. When he goes there, it is glass. It is straight glass. And where he goes is the Civic Center, where underneath is the waters of Mandalore. But we have not seen this. That means we're going back to Mandalore at some point. Now, that's not surprising. We've assumed that we're going back to Mandalore. That was whatever. But this shot specifically has not been seen yet. And if you notice over here, there's a lot of life. There's a lot of trees and plants and things. Like there's life on Mandalore. And that's not what we saw in the first couple episodes when we went to Mandalore, and it was all glass. It's very interesting. We've seen this. We know R5. We've seen all this. Is R5 still with Mando, by the way? Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is. On March 1st. So here it is. Captain Carson Teva says, there is something dangerous happening out there. And by the time it's big enough for you to act, it'll be too late. He says, yeah, it'll be too late. So this is the scene we haven't seen yet. This is Carson Teva. We can only assume that this is Coruscant. We don't know any other place that kind of looks like this in the background. Like, this is Coruscant. That's all we can believe as of right now. Coruscant. So if Carson Teva is on Coruscant, talking to somebody important, saying that by the time you see this, it's this danger, it's going to be too late. Like, he's talking to somebody important, either the Supreme Chancellor at this time, which some people believe is Mon Mothma, or maybe even Princess Leia, or maybe even Din Djarin himself. Maybe Din Djarin finds his way to Coruscant, because there was leaks and rumors a long time ago that Din and Grogu were on Coruscant, which would be insane. But Carson Teva is telling somebody of importance that there's a danger out there and we need to do something to stop it. So I'm guessing it's either Princess Leia, which would be insane. I mean, come on. Princess Leia, wild. It would be so wild. It would be so wild. It would be crazy. Or Mon Mothma, which a lot of people believe could be true, or even Din Djarin himself. Somebody of importance is being talked to right here, and it would be very cool if this was in the next episode, and I do believe it will be. I believe that this whole scene will be in the next episode to not only bring us back to Coruscant, but also connect the two stories. Dr. Pershing episode kind of just seems like a standalone film, like its own story. Nobody really knows like why that Dr. Pershing story happened. And it doesn't seem like we're going to go back to that anytime soon. But if there's a connection between the danger in the Outer Rim, Carson Teva, Coruscant, and of course, Princess Leia, then all the pieces will come together, and it will make for such an amazing freaking episode. So, whoa, calm down. Okay, but yeah, that's where I'm at with this. This episode is going to be not only just set up the rest of the season, but itself is going to be very, very good. It's going to have Coruscant, Carson Teva, and yes, Boba Fett. Boba Fett. It's going to have Boba Fett. So here is the reports on why I think Boba Fett will actually be in this episode. And this is actually really, really exciting stuff. And I am actually getting extremely excited. But here's what we're talking about when we're talking about Boba Fett. So, the Mandalorian Season 3 poster teases Boba Fett return. All right? Let's pull this up. Let's pull it up. All right. A new poster for Disney Plus's The Mandalorian Season 3 might have hinted at the return of a fan favorite bounty hunter, Boba Fett. So, The Mandalorian teases Boba Fett's arrival. Many fans believe that this new poster from Star Wars' UK official Twitter, again, weird that it's only the UK and not every other Twitter, but has teased the return of Boba Fett in The Mandalorian Season 3. The beautiful poster by John... Yikes, I'm not even going to try. Which was officially licensed by Disney Plus, shows Bo-Katan front and center. Again, a little bit strange. Bo-Katan front and center, with Mando and Grogu just below her. The poster includes several references to events within Season 3. So let's check out the poster. Here you go. You got the Jedi from Order 66. You got Grogu. You got Din. You got a bunch of Mandalorian there. You got Din again there. I think that's Din, right? Yeah. Bo-Katan front and center. TIE interceptors chasing that. But who's that right there? Who's that? But if you look closely, one might spot a familiar helmet from a certain bounty hunter. Very interesting. There is literally no doubt in my mind that is Boba Fett, which is actually kind of cool because he's using another older blaster of his. But here's why there's no doubt. I mean, you got the dent in his helmet. There's a bunch of Mandalorians. Sure, they have dents in their helmets. But I mean, look. Boba Fett's helmet has been behind me every stream forever. Boom. That dent right there. It's the same exact helmet. I mean, come on. Come on. It's the same exact helmet. It is. That is Boba Fett, which is very, very cool because this is a poster revealed by the UK's official Star Wars page. And this clearly is supposed to be like encapsulating the first 3, 4, 5 episodes because you have Order 66, you have all these Mandalorians on this deserty-ish planet where we've seen them so far. You have the TIE interceptors, which happened in the 3rd episode, chasing the N1 Starfighter. You have Grogu, of course. You have Bo-Katan, of course. You have Din Djarin. And all that stuff happened in the first 4 episodes, except for Boba Fett. So could it be teasing Boba Fett's coming in this 5th episode? I believe so. And not only that, it's the same exact pose that he's holding right here. Literally the same one. That is Boba right there with this same blaster. It's the same picture. If I handed you these 2 pictures and said, find me a difference, it's the same picture. Oh, look, they even put it side by side for us. It's the same guy. Boba Fett is coming, and I think it's going to be this week. Everybody's said that he's coming. We know that Boba Fett is coming in this season, but it's this week, ladies and gentlemen. It's this week. I'm willing to put some cheddar cheese on this. I just say cheddar cheese. Boba Fett's coming. There's no doubt in my mind. There's no doubt. Boba Fett is coming tonight. Boba Fett is coming. And this poster reveals it. So, when will fans get more Boba? Before many fans thought the Mandalorian Season 3 trailer heavily teased the return of Boba Fett, when it was revealed that Mando would be taking a trip to Tatooine. Sadly, that trip ended up being extremely brief and no crossover in sight. But there are still 4 episodes left in the season, and with the story heavily focusing on Mandalorian culture, it would make perfect sense to try to still and loop Boba Fett into the narrative. After all, if Din Djarin needs help from any allies, Boba would be one of the first he calls. But what about more of the Book of Boba Fett? Well, a possible season 2 was actually recently hinted at by Lucasfilm. A recent article from a Star Wars website referred a moment from the past episode as the first season. Obviously, that's far from a confirmation that the Boba-focused sophomore installment, but it is notable nonetheless. So it is likely we will get a Book of Boba Fett season 2, and they're just talking about a reference, and it's a small reference, but it is a big idea. A Book of Boba Fett season 2, and I think a Mandalorian season 3 would set that up. Would definitely set that up. And I mean, if this is real, which it is real, it's from an official Star Wars Twitter page. Boba's coming, and I think he's coming in the next episode. The next episode, which is very exciting. Very, very exciting. Let's pull it up. Let's pull it up. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Whoa, my screen just got really, really small. Hang on. What do you guys think? Here we go. Let me end that last poll. Wow, 50-50. You guys think that one of the members of the Bad Batch will actually die in the next episode? It's kind of low, actually. I thought for sure you guys would be like, yeah, they're dying. Yeah. Goodbye. Bye-bye. Do you think? All right, no, we'll put it like this. Will Boba Fett be in Mando, episode 5? Yes or no? Do you think we'll see Boba in episode 5? What do we think? What do we think? I think it's a no-brainer. I mean, all signs point to Boba. They have since the beginning of the season. And I think it's just a no-brainer. I think the only logical answer is yes. Boba is coming. Boba is coming. Which is going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. But yeah, again, this is a huge episode. Humongous episode for The Mandalorian. It's got to hit the ground running. A lot of fans last week were like, yeah, Order 66 was cool. Ahmed Best coming back was cool. But what's going on? What is going on? Where's the plot of this show? Din Djarin is just chasing around a giant pterodactyl with a bunch of other Mandalorians. It was kind of like a slower episode. And we need to hit the ground running, and we need this show to get moving in the second half of the season. And I think it will. I really, truly do think that it might. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. First, okay. Yeah, so, I mean, anybody else got any other predictions for The Mandalorian other than, of course, Carson Teva, Boba Fett, anything? Any bold predictions we got out there? Any bold predictions? Luke Skywalker, a Leia prediction maybe? Here's my prediction. Carson Teva, of course, is going to be there on Coruscant, which is going to be epic. But where there's Carson Teva and where there's Coruscant, there's somebody else of importance. And if it's Princess Leia, that means Han Solo. If it's Mon Mothma, that's just cool on its own. But, you know, it's going to be epic. It's going to be epic. I'm excited. But we do have some other news to get into. How about Bob Iger fires 7,000 employees in the last week? Yeah. 7,000. 7,000 employees in a week. In a week. That's in 1 week. Let me hang on. That's kind of weird. Okay, never mind. So 7,000 employees fired in a week. So this is mostly from their metaverse division over at Disney. But it's still a lot of Star Wars people, and one of the people most people call for their heads is Kathleen Kennedy. Most people want that lady gone. They want her gone so badly that they don't even know what to do with themselves. But here's the thing with Kathleen Kennedy. I think she's already gone. There's rumors around Hollywood that she's already gone, that she has been fired behind the scenes. They were just waiting till after Star Wars Celebration just so people aren't asking questions about it there and all that stuff. Which I guess is fine. But if she's already gone, then some of these reports lately are a little shaky. Because most people, and they're very reliable sources like Jeff Snyder, are saying that this 2025 movie is Kathleen Kennedy's is her job. If she doesn't get this movie out by Christmas of 2025, and if it's not good, she's gone. She's fired. Which I don't think it's even going to happen. I don't think she survives the year. I think after all this crazy stuff that has happened with Star Wars over the last 4 or 5 years, plus what's going on with Willow and Indiana Jones and all that other stuff, with all that going on around the scenes, Kathleen Kennedy is attached to every single bad piece of news that happens with Lucasfilm. She is the president. So I don't think she'll survive past July, honestly, but I don't think she'll survive the year. So all these reports about her in this 2025 movie being so important, it is very important. But it's like, at the same time, she's already gone. She's already gone. She's already gone. But what do we think about this Star Wars movie? So there's a Star Wars movie coming out in 2025. We know this. But Star Wars Celebration, if you don't know, is April 7th to April 10th. And that is just a few weeks away. I think it's like a week and a half away from now. So it's not far away at all, which is very exciting just by itself because we're getting so many announcements. We're getting so many announcements at Star Wars Celebration. Not just this 2025 movie, which is getting announced a title for it, but we're also getting announced 3 movies. So I think 2025 is going to be one of those movies, but we're going to get that movie and 2 other movies announced. Hopefully a trilogy. We don't know yet, but we're hoping it's going to be a trilogy, but we don't know. Darth Lopez says, I was invited to Star Wars Celebration, but declined. Wow. You were invited to Star Wars Celebration? Man, where's my invite to Star Wars Celebration? No, that's pretty cool, but you declined. Well, first of all, why? But second of all, I think there's going to be a ton of good announcements at Star Wars Celebration. And not only just the movies, but maybe a Book of Boba Fett Season 2, like we just talked about a little bit ago. But also a Mandalorian Season 4, of course. We already know that's going to be begin filming by the end of this year. Darth Lopez says, of course I wasn't. I wish. Yeah, no, you got me there. You almost got me there. But yeah, no, we're going to get a ton of announcements there with the Book of Boba Fett Season 2, I think a Mandalorian Season 4, maybe even an Ahsoka Season 2, an Ahsoka trailer for sure, an Ahsoka release date, 3 movies. Like, it could be a huge, huge W for the Star Wars fan base in Star Wars Celebration, because I don't know, but I think that we could be getting a lot of fun news there, which will be cool. I can't wait for Star Wars Celebrations in 2 short weeks, but we talked about this on last Thursday. It's dumb. It is so dumb that Star Wars Celebration takes place on the same weekend as Easter. Like, there's 52 weekends in a year. 52 weekends in a year. And they chose the one with Easter on it. It's just dumb. It's Lucasfilm being dumb, as always. It's Lucasfilm being dumb, as always. But, whatever. You win some, you lose some. You win some, you lose some. But they lose most of them. So, here's my thing. Star Wars Celebration is going to be a lot of fun. And hopefully it's Kathleen's, last goodbye. But The Mandalorian is coming out this week, is coming out next week. There's 4 more episodes left. So there's 4 more weeks of The Mandalorian. If Star Wars Celebration is in 2 weeks, that means after Star Wars Celebration, there's still 2 more episodes of The Mandalorian. So here's the thing. They can't really give us much about the Ahsoka show. They can't really give us much about The Mandalorian Season 4 or Book of Boba Fett Season 2 if Boba hasn't shown up yet in The Mandalorian. If something big hasn't happened in The Mandalorian yet, they can't really give us any big announcement regarding the Mandoverse because The Mandalorian Season 3 hasn't ended yet. It's a whole weird situation, and I don't know what they're going to do about it, but I'm really hoping that they just actually give us some actual good news at Star Wars Celebration. That's all I wish. That's all I want. That's all I want. But here's the thing with Lucasfilm. They're only working on Star Wars now. Here's the report. Let's pull it up. This is kind of crazy. Honestly, did not think that this was going to happen, but here's what happened. Lucasfilm is only going to be working on Star Wars. It's kind of crazy. Hang on. Let's pull it up. Disney restricts Lucasfilm's upcoming projects. So, after news of Willow's cancellation, anybody watch Willow? Anybody in the chat watch Willow? Anybody in the chat watch Willow? And be honest, I know you didn't. Don't even lie to me. I know you didn't. Just, come on. Did you watch Willow? A new rumor claimed that Disney has placed restrictions on Lucasfilm about the development of other projects. Lucasfilm is best known for making and highlighting Star Wars content. But some may not even be aware that the studio is also responsible for introducing Willow and Indiana Jones. Now we're getting Indiana Jones 5 later this year, which I think is going to be pretty good, but it's definitely going to be the last one of the Indiana Jones franchise. You never know. Maybe they'll make it for another one, but I really hope it's the last one. The arrival of Disney Plus allowing Lucasfilm to explore new content for its IPs, leading to Willow's revival. So a plethora of Star Wars shows and a potential Indiana Jones spin-off show. So Willow has come out the first season, and it was supposed to get a second season, but it was canceled. And Indiana Jones was rumored to be getting a spin-off show after this movie, which again is now being rumored to be canceled. So here's what happened. Disney restrictions on Lucasfilm. Above the Lines, Jeff Snyder, who we talked about before, claimed on the Hot Mic podcast that the Raven Hood Indiana Jones spin-off show on Disney Plus is dead. It's dead. Okay? And before saying that Disney isn't allowing Lucasfilm to make any other project, before saying that Disney isn't allowing Lucasfilm to make any other project but Star Wars from now on. That's it. Star Wars. That's it. They are only allowed to make Star Wars from now on. It doesn't say for the next 5 years. It says from now on. Meaning Willow was so bad that we're never making it again. And Indiana Jones is a one and done thing. Indiana Jones 5 is a one and done thing. Now, of course, if Indiana Jones 5 goes and makes $3 million, you're not going to tell me they're not going to make another one. But from now on, Star Wars. That's it. That's all they can make. This rumor comes after Disney cancels Willow after only one season, which was a decision made 2 months after the show's 8-episode run. Despite being canceled, there is still a chance that show could be explored again. Yeah, sure. Like there's a chance of every show being explored again that's gotten canceled. Considering it remains one of Lucasfilm's most important IPs. Yeah, stop lying to yourself. As reported by The Wrap, the Indiana Jones prequel spin-off show from Disney Plus was supposed to revolve around a young Abner Ravenwood. Okay. Marion Ravenwood's father, who is a much talked about character in Indiana Jones franchise but has yet to appear. So I am not in the know with Indiana Jones. I've seen the movies, but even the name Raven Hood rings a bell, but I could not tell you who that character is. But they were thinking about doing a prequel spin-off to Indiana Jones. I mean, it could be cool, but Indiana Jones without Indiana Jones is not Indiana Jones, okay? The Wrap also shared the spin-off series' first plot details, with it revolving around Abner mentoring a group of young archaeologists. It was also reported that some of the creative heavyweights, including Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, will most likely return for the spin-off. So the people who were creating Indiana Jones in the Dial of Destiny were going to create this new spin-off show. And nope, not happening. Last year, Lucasfilm lost the rights to both Children of Blood and Bones Children of Blood and Bones to Paramount. Jeez. Which strongly indicates that the studio's main focus is on the galaxy far, far away. The Hollywood Reporter shared that Lucasfilm let development languish for Children of Blood and Bones as it turns its focus on Star Wars series slate for Disney Plus. What the hell is Children of Blood and Bones? Does anybody know? I don't know. After the 2020 Disney Investor Day presentation, Tomi not even gonna try. The novel's author grew disenchanted with the development of the project, leading him. I don't know what we're talking about here. Who cares? Star Wars. That's it. That's it. Lucasfilm is only going to focus on Star Wars, and that is it, which is kind of crazy. Absolutely crazy. Darth Lopez says, I couldn't make it past the 3rd episode of Willow. Darth Lopez, I couldn't even start Willow. Like, there was no hype around it there for me. I did not care. Are you drinking coffee? What's, and what kind and what type of creamer? Darth Lopez, I gotta tell you, I don't drink coffee. I've actually never had a full cup of coffee in my life, and I don't drink it at all. This is all water. Actually, this cup is empty. I'll be moving. This cup is now empty after I just poured the rest of it on myself. I will be moving on to the good cup that follows orders. My big cup right here. Interesting, exactly. Bosk Ben NJPW. Bosk Ben NJPW. I'm calling you by your full name, Ben, okay? Okay. Says Boba will probably be in episode 6. So you don't think he'll be in episode 5? Just episode 6? I think he'll be in episode 5 for sure. I predict the Navarro pirate battle will be tomorrow. That is true. We haven't seen that yet either. So he's talking about the pirates versus the Mandalorians that we saw in the other trailer that we got. We could pull that up in a second, but yeah, no, I know what you're talking about. Let me actually pull that up now. Mandalorian season 3. Boom, boom, boom. When was this trailer at? It wasn't the one that was 1 month ago, was it? No, was it? 1 month ago. This one? No, it's not that one either. Which trailer was this? Not the 2 month ago one. We just watched that. Was it the first one we ever got? I don't know. You guys know what I'm talking about though, right? When the pirates are fighting the Mandalorians on Navarro. That's what Bosk Ben and NJPW is talking about. Yeah, no, I definitely believe that you're on the right track with that. That could happen tomorrow. That could happen in episode 6. But either way, I still think that Boba is coming tomorrow. I think Boba is going to be there tomorrow. Now, whether or not they leave Boba on a cliffhanger, like, oh, we're going to go get Boba to help us do this thing, and then we see Boba at the end of this episode, or whether or not he's just involved in this episode fully, will be interesting. You don't have to say my full name. You know what, Bosk Ben, NJPW? I'm going to say, see, it's rolling off the tongue now. I'm getting better at it. See, the more and more I say your full name, the more and more I'm going to like doing it. So yeah, just let me do this one thing, okay? Just let me do it. Bosk Ben, NJPW says, you don't have to say my full name. Yes, I do, okay? I have to, okay? Darth Lopez says, nope, no Boba at all. All right, Darth Lopez, I know you're just a bummer all the time, but but Boba's coming, and he's coming tomorrow. Do you need me to pull up the picture again? Do you need me to pull up the picture again? Do you need me to pull up the picture again? Boba's coming. So for those of you who weren't here, and maybe just because I want to piss off Darth Lopez, this is what we got from the the Star Wars official Twitter page from the UK. Okay? We got this nice, cool poster featuring Bo-Katan right front and center, Din Djarin, Grogu, Jedi from Order 66, all that stuff. But right there is Boba Fett. And how do I know that? Because boom, look at this. It's Boba Fett. It's the guy himself on a poster for season 3. Darth Lopez, you're wrong, as always. and I'm right, because I'm always right, and this is fun. So let's just do this for the rest of the stream, because it's really fun, and I can't stop. Bulba's coming. He's coming. He's coming in this next episode, I believe, and I think Bosk, Ben, and JPW is also right when he says that those pirates are going to fight the Mandalorian on Navarro as well. I think we're all right. Why can't we all just be right for once? Except for Darth Lopez, because he's wrong. He is wrong. He is wrong. Not buying it. It will. Not buying it. We'll see tomorrow. We will see. We will see tomorrow. We will see tomorrow. Bosk Ben and NJPW says, why will Boba be in episode 5 though? I mean, I hope he is, but why? He's for sure in the season though. Yeah, he's for sure in the season. But here's why I think he's in tomorrow's episode. Not only just that poster being released accidentally, but this season's going to get obviously rolling here in this next episode. And I think that here's what's going to happen. Boba's going to be involved in the same way that Din Djarin was involved in the book of Boba Fett. When Fennec Shand comes to get Din Djarin for Boba, the episode before that, you have to remember, is Fennec Shand. It ends with Fennec Shand and Boba sitting out on the terrace at Jabba's palace, and they say, we need help for to fight the Pikes. And they say, do we got money? He's like, we got plenty of money. And then she says, I know just the guy to go get. And then you hear the do 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 do, the Mando theme. So I think something along those lines are going to happen. So maybe you're right, Bosk Ben and JPW. We won't see Boba in this episode, but I think we'll be alluded to him, and maybe the episode will end with dum 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 dum. Yeah, exactly. So maybe we'll get something along those lines, which would be cool. Jimmy Joe says, maybe they send Mando and Grogu off with Ahsoka to find Ezra. We'll explain their absence in the sequels. Plus, we just saw space whale things in Lightspeed, in the creature that Ezra used to jump away with Thrawn. Off topic, sorry. Now, you're always on topic if the topic is Star Wars, Jimmy Joe. Okay? No. So, yeah. He's saying that maybe they'll send Grogu and Din off with Ahsoka. Here's where I think, okay? Here's where I think you're off a little bit. So I think that they're setting up Thrawn, they're setting up Ezra, they're setting up all that stuff for the Ahsoka show. But they're setting up a bigger picture here. They're setting up Grogu and Din being the rulers of Mandalore, with maybe Bo-Katan also helping out, and all these Mandalorian coming back together, creating this Mandalorian army. Now, if there's a Mandalorian army on Mandalore, like Jimmy Joe is saying, why weren't they in the sequel trilogy? Well, maybe they exist in the New Beyond. Now, the Ahsoka show, for those of you who don't know what the New Beyond is supposed to be introducing this new space in the Star Wars galaxy called the New Beyond. And that's where Ezra and Thrawn have been this whole time, and that's why Thrawn and Ezra haven't been able to get back to the Star Wars galaxy that we know, because it's hard to get to. And right now, as far as we know, the space whale things that we saw in Lightspeed, as Jimmy Joe, just change your name to Jimmy John. Jimmy John is saying is those space whales are called Purgles, and they are the only way that we know as of right now to get to the New Beyond. I know, there's a lot, but I do believe that the army of Mandalorians are going to eventually fight against Thrawn and his army of undead stormtroopers. I know, just it's a lot of information. Going boom, 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 boom. See, Darth Lopez, you just said breaking news, and you almost got to me. But yeah, no, so that's definitely what's going to happen, is we're going to have Din and Grogu and Bo-Katan build up the Mandalorian into this army, and they're going to fight Thrawn. And that's where they're going to be during the events of the sequel trilogy. That's where I think it's going. That's where I know it's going. That's where we know it's going. Or at least we think we know it's going. If that answers your question, Jimmy Joe. I like Jimmy Joe. Keep it as Jimmy Joe. Don't change it to Jimmy John. Don't listen to the guy who said change it to Jimmy John. He's an idiot. Honey Badger finally joins the stream. God damn, Honey Badger. Where you been? I hope we get Boba. Had an important call. Sorry. Okay. Important? Nothing's more important than Star Wars. Yeah, no, you're fine. I hope we get Boba too. Really hope we do. You know how late you are, Honey Badger? You know how late you are? I'm already on to the other cup. I'm already on to the good cup that follows orders. You missed it. I poured the rest of my first cup all over myself. Quite embarrassing. Bosk Ben J I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it. So it's just like slips right off the tongue. Bosk Ben NJPW says like a banta. Exactly. We're all just sitting here, just like a banta. A little weird. Okay. Darth Lopez says, breaking news. Disney just fired me. I was a part of the janitors division. I don't know whether or not to believe you, Darth Lopez, but I'm going to go with I don't believe you at all. Okay. Honey Badger says, with the introduction of the New Beyond, do you think that we will see Grogu and the rest of the Mandalorians during the events of episode 7 to 9? That's why we don't see them. Or do you think that's where they are? Yes. That's where I think that's where John and Dave are going with this. Why didn't we see Din Djarin, Grogu, Ahsoka, Bo-Katan, Ezra Bridger, Thrawn, all these characters in the sequel trilogy? Because that's where they were, the New Beyond. They were fighting it out. They were given this huge fight in the New Beyond. So that's where they were during the sequel trilogy. And Jimmy Joe says, Honey Badger, yeah, that's sort of what I meant. Yeah, I think we're on the same page here. Nothing is more important than good cups than Star Wars good. Yeah, exactly. I hope we don't get Boba. You know what, Darth Lopez? I hope we don't get you. Why are you such a downer today, Darth Lopez? I hope... Darth Lopez, if it's not Boba, I hope it's you. I hope you show up on the screen, and that's what we get. Bosk Ben NJPW. It'll be the death of me, but I will get it down. It will be the death of me, but I will get it done. That's one fat cup. Hey. We don't say those things around here. It's a Star Wars Rise of Skywalker cup that I got from when the movie came out 4 years ago, and it's seen some things. It's a big cup. I mean, look at it next to my head. It's enormous. But it's a good cup, and it follows orders, okay? It's seen some things. Well, awesome, Jimmy Joe. See, it says Jim Joe, but for some reason I just keep saying Jimmy, so I'm going to keep saying Jimmy. Apologize for the late attendance, but awesome. Honey Badger, you have nothing to apologize except for everything because you're late. Boba is coming for the Bad Batch. Boba is coming for the Bad Batch. And for the throne of Mandalore. You think he's coming for the Bad Batch too? That would be... So here's the thing. We know Boba's coming in the Mandalorian Season 3, but is it possible that if we do get a Season 3 for the Bad Batch, do you think Boba could show up? Do you think it's at all possible that... I just read your chat, sorry. It threw me off completely. Can't look at the chat. Boom. Do you think that is at all possible that Season 3 of the Bad Batch, Season 3 of the Bad Batch could involve Boba in any way? Because Omega and Boba are the only two unaltered clones of Jango Fett. So at some point, they gonna meet because it's Star Wars and that's just what has to happen. Now let me go to that chat that I just completely read and laughed at. Bosk Ben NJPW. Said, that cup has seen Rise of Skywalker, poor cup. Hey, you know what? You got a point. You got a point. It saw it with me. Actually, I took this cup and I whipped it at the person next to me and said, shut up! She's Rey Skywalker forever! No. We don't do that around here. We need the hype. We always need the hype. Mr. Sean says, maybe just for Omega. Boba Fett. So, all right, let me throw out this bold prediction. You ready? For tomorrow's episode of the finale, like just not even Season 3, tomorrow's episode, the finale, what if Boba Fett comes in and is the one that the Empire hired to hunt down Omega? That would be a younger teenage version of Boba Fett, but we've seen him in the Clone Wars. We know he's already got the bounty hunter experience. What if he comes in, hired by the Empire to get Omega, and the Empire doesn't even know that he's a clone, just like Omega? Is that too much? Am I going too far? Am I getting too hyped? Bosk Ben NJPW says, I doubt it. Did I say that right? NJPW. Yeah, okay. Mr. Mrs. Sean says they know. Yes, that's true, they do know. Yeah, you just completely threw my theory out the window because they know. In The Mandalorian Season 2, he says, I can't go in that Imperial base because they know my face. You're right. Bosk Ben NJPW says, yes. He said yes, but I was saying yes because I got his name right. Yes, absolutely, Boba will be in the Bad Batch at some point. But it's kind of along the the same lines as could Omega show up in a Book of Boba Fett Season 2? It's like, could go either way. But if you, hang on. If that were the case, this is what Omega would look like. Hang on, 1 sec. Hang on. Everybody remain calm. Here's the thing. This is what the Book of Boba Fett Season 2 is going to look like. This Omega is going to show up to the doorstep on Tatooine and say, I don't know what she'll say. This is the way. What is she going to say? She'll say, Boba, I'm Omega. Please help me. Imagine Tamara Morrison trying to play a female version of his own character. That would just be the greatest thing ever. We need Omega in live action immediately. Give me Omega in live action. Please. Somebody go get on that. Darth Lopez, don't quit that janitor job and go get Omega in live action. Please. I gotta see it. But yeah, I think it's definitely likely Boba and Omega will meet at some point. Whether it's in the Bad Batch Season 3 or Season 2 or Season 4 or Season 7 or 12 or the Book of Boba Fett Season 2, I think Omega and Boba are definitely going to meet at some point. Honey Badger says, and Omega takes off her helmet and as the armor and takes the Mythosaur and the Darksaber. Whoa. He says, and Omega takes off her helmet and it's the armor. And she takes the Mythosaur and the Darksaber and just whoops Din and Poe out of the picture. I love it. Still thinking the armor is Omega is a little bit of a stretch, but I love it. I love the stretch. Get a good stretch going. Yes, Omega Fett. Omega Fett? Omega Fett. Now that's a name. Omega Fett. I am Omega Fett. Left for dead on the sands of Tatooine. Yes. Omega Fett. Bosk Ben NJPW. See, now when I say it right, I feel like I'm saying it wrong. Bosk Ben NJPW says Omega probably won't be in the Book of Boba Fett if there is a Season 2. A rough 10 years for Omega. Yeah, it was a rough 10 years for Omega. But you don't think she'll be in it? Here's my thing. There was a rumor a long time ago. We talked about this on Thursday. If anybody remembers this, the rumor that Omega was going to get her own spin-off show as a bounty hunter in all-white Mandalorian armor, and it was going to be sick. Omega was going to be older. She was going to be a bounty hunter, and it was going to be cool. That sounds awesome to me. But I doubt it's going to happen anymore just because the Bad Batch is not doing as well as they thought it was going to do, blah, 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 blah. But I do think we're going to see Omega at some point involved with Boba in some way, somehow. She's going to be involved with Mount Tantus and cloning and all that stuff. But for some reason, I do believe that we will see Omega and Boba on the same screen at the same time. Okay. Jimmy Joe says, I like it, lol. Honey Badger says, Cad Bane did I miss your chat before? Oh, sorry. Cad Bane couldn't get the job done. So that's why Boba will be hired. And ironically, will be tasked to pick up his own sister. Oh, Cad Bane couldn't get the job done in the first season. Yeah, you're right. Cad Bane couldn't capture Omega. So now Boba Fett's going to be hired to get the job done, even though Cad Bane trained Boba. It all makes sense. It's poetry. It rhymes. It's Star Wars. Boom. Write it down. Somebody write that down. Write it down. Send it to Lucasfilm. This is the way. This is the way. Bosk Ben NJPW says the armorer is Snoke. I'm going to let that one sit for a second. The armorer is Snoke. We figured it out. After all these streams, All these prediction streams every week. We've come here. All we needed was Bosk Ben and JPW to show up and tell us that the armorer is Snoke. Genius. 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 Yes, Omega is getting her own show, but in live action? I doubt it. See, at one point I thought that could be possible, but I seriously doubt it. Jimmy Joe says, do you mind that I call you Jimmy? Your name says Jim Joe, but it's Jimmy. Jimmy Joe says, I sort of expected either the Mandalorian show or the upcoming Ahsoka show to start hinting at a Sith Eternal and Exegol and Dathan. So when he says Dathan, he's talking about Rey's dad or Palpatine's clone, Dathan. So I do believe that at some point we're going to get some hints to Exegol, to Palpatine, to Rey and her dad and her mom, to Snoke. I think all that is coming. But I think the Ahsoka show is going to be more centered around Thrawn in the New Beyond. So I don't think that's going to happen in that show. Now, maybe The Mandalorian Season 3 continues to go down that road. The Mandalorian Season 4 continues to go down that road of the sequels, the First Order, Supreme Leader Snoke, Palpatine, the Contingency Plan, Exegol, and all that stuff. But I think they're trying to connect to the sequels, make the sequels better, at the same time as making the people who don't like the sequels happy. And it's the hardest line for them to just walk across. But I think it is possible that they could do that. It is possible. Honey Badger says Jedi Fallen Order news or Jedi Survivor news. Sorry if I missed any. Is there Jedi Survivor news? I think we went over all the Jedi Survivor news last week. No. I don't think so. I mean, we did have the prediction video come out over the weekend about Cal Kestis going to the New Beyond possibly in this new game, but no, I don't think there's any new news unless I'm wrong. Somebody got any new Jedi Survivor news? Bosk Ben NJPW says, I used to work for Lucasfilm. I was co-writer for The Mandalorian. Trust me, bro. You know what? Just because you told me that was the case, I believe you. And I trust you. So whatever Bosk Ben NJPW says goes. From now on, that's what goes. Okay? Everybody got it? Write it down. Got it. Jimmy Joe says maybe Dr. Pershing. Yeah, so Pershing is definitely a connection. I mean, maybe Pershing is already hinting at it. Yeah, Pershing is definitely a connection to possibly cloning Snoke. He is, like, right now, the connection. We saw in The Mandalorian Season 2 that clone facility on Navarro had a Snoke clone in the back tank. Like, it was an early on, like, beat up, morphed one, but it was a clone of Snoke in a way. So yeah, it is going to be interesting to see how much they actually connect to the sequels, because there are so many people out there that hate the sequels, like absolutely hate the sequels. I mean, this cup absolutely hates the sequels, but we know that. But yeah, no, there's so many people out there that hate the sequels, so it is hard for Lucasfilm to kind of just give us something that everybody's going to love at this point, because there's some people that hate the sequels, there's some people that love the sequels, there's some people that will literally not watch The Mandalorian because it connects to the sequels. Like, some people hate on it that much. So it is weird. It is kind of weird. Bosk Ben NJPW says, spoiler, Grogu and Mando are in the next episode. What? No. Grogu and Din Djarin are in the next episode of The Mandalorian? That's crazy. Honey Badger says, I'm just seriously curious. Who's the guy in the back to tank? A Sith or a crazy Jedi? I'm replaying Jedi Fallen Order and on Jedi Master difficulty, and I keep dying because dying to the bugs. Dying to the bugs. Good job. Yeah, no, so who's in the back to tank? I mean, that's a question that nobody can answer really right now. Everybody has their theories, but it's seeming like it's going to be a High Republic Jedi. Now, the High Republic, anybody reading the books? Anybody reading the books? I got the Light of the Jedi right here. Anybody reading the High Republic? Bum, bum, the High Republic. I know, nobody's reading it. We know, nobody's reading it. But with the Acolyte coming, which is going to take place in the High Republic, with Jedi Survivor, having this Jedi who's in the back tank from the High Republic, with other projects down the line going to be involving the High Republic, are we going to actually have to read this stuff? Like, is this going to be necessary to read to understand the story of Star Wars? That's kind of the problem, because these books aren't selling. They aren't. This is the big project, the planned out stuff that Star Wars has done for the last 4 or 5 years. It's a good story, but nobody's reading it. So it's like the Andor show. If it's a good story, nobody's watching it. Who cares? Kind of the deal. But yeah, I believe that guy in the back tank is a Jedi from the High Republic. And he says to Cal in the most recent trailer something along the lines of like, how could you let the Empire rise up, or something like this? Like, he's an angry elf. He's been asleep for a while. He didn't sleep well, I guess. He's upset. He's upset. Episode 7 was the only good part of the sequels, besides Kylo and Finn, and Han, Leia, and Luke and Lando. Yeah. We won't even start on the sequels because I could talk about it for hours. The bad about it, there is some good. Whatever people say, there is some good about that sequel trilogy, but the majority of it is bad. So we won't really talk about it. Jimmy Joe says they need something like the Clone Wars cartoon to bridge the gap between episode 6 and 7. So Jimmy, I think, here's the thing. I think that's what the Mandalorian is doing. I think this Mando timeline with John and Dave at the helm, with Mando season 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 probably, with Ahsoka season 1 and 2 probably, with the Book of Boba Fett season 1 and 2, with Skeleton Crew, with all these other projects that they're doing right now, with the rumors of them making short films about Luke, Leia, and Han. I think that's what is going to happen. I don't know if they'll go to animation just because the sequels hurt way more than the prequels did. So I think they're going to try to keep it in live action so that more people will actually appreciate the sequels than did before with the shows like The Mandalorian. But I think you're definitely on the right track. They're definitely doing stuff in between the episodes of 6 and 7 to make a better sequel trilogy. For sure. Honey Badger says, yes, even parts of The Mandalorian, the Purging episode, to now Mount Tantus, or to know the mountain on Coruscant. Sorry. He says, the Purging episode, to the mountain on Coruscant that they pulled from the books and others, especially with Taika Waititi's Star Wars story regarding the book. Yes. I follow. So that mountain on Coruscant, I think it's called like Umate or something, on Coruscant in the Dr. Pershing episode of The Mandalorian is in this book. It is. It is in this book. The Chancellor of the Republic at the time, I completely been blanking on her name, but she has these 2 awesome giant wolves that like protect her. She goes to that mountain all the time. And in this book, it looks completely different, or sounds completely different. But yeah. Yes, Umate. However you spell it. No, yeah, I think you spelled it completely right. Bosk Ben NJPW says, I want Boba to steal 2 episodes from Mando. Okay, maybe Mando can have about 5-second cameo in episode 6, but no dialogue. You think you're funny, boss, can't you? Think you're funny? No, that's hilarious. Yeah, no. I really hope that doesn't happen. I do predict Boba will be in this next episode, but I really hope that Boba doesn't come in and steal episode 5 and 6 like Mando did to his show. If they just do that to like even out the score, there'll be a riot. There will be a riot. I seriously doubt that they will do that. Honey Badger, no, it won't be great. No, don't agree with him. Don't agree with Ben. Don't agree with Bosk Ben and JPW. Don't do it. No. Yeah, no, I really hope. No. I think Boba will be in. What does the stream come to? Should I just leave it? I'm gonna pick it up. Somebody play some smooth jazz while I fix my setup. No, the batteries fell out. I got too mad at Bosk, Ben, and JPW, and this is what happens. This is what happens. The batteries fell out. Oh, my Ahsoka pop figure fell over. Stay. Did you guys know we were talking about Star Wars? Anybody got somebody give me some predictions for the Mandalorian or the Bad Batch while I do this? No, there's 3 batteries and I don't see any of them. Where did they go? I'm going in. I found them. What a stream we got going on here. What a stream. Mr. Mrs. Sean says Grogu's first words. What do we think? What do we think? I definitely think this is the way. I mean, let me fix my setup first. Ha, I'm a genius. I mean, I did just knock over my whole thing, my whole setup, but you know, I'm still a genius. All right. Yeah. You guys would be surprised how much that actually happens, just not on stream. Green? What do we think? Green? Green, red, blue, white, purple, orange? What do we think? Color? Somebody. Please give me a color. Anybody. Come on, chat. What do you want to see? We're not going to keep the stream going until I get a color. Green. Okay. There you go. You know what, Ben? This one's for you. Imagine that just came tumbling down again. I would have ended the stream. I would have ended the stream. Yeah, Honey Badger. It's green. All right. All right. Bosk Ben NJPW says, you are either with me or you are my enemy. I guess I'm your enemy because that just happened because I crapped all over you. Okay? Hype stream smash desk. Yeah, no. Okay. Grogu's first words, I think it's this is the way. I mean, I don't know. Bosk Ben NJPW says, Boba fetish over Mando. Jeez, so you got that Boba fetish? Real? For real, for real? For real, for real? Honey Badger says, I predict that the Bad Batch will rescue Crosshair, leading to the death of Tech. And it ends with the Bad Batch being Hunter, Omega, Wrecker, and Crosshair as they escape Darth Vader in an introduction to the Inquisitors. Wow. Now that would be quite the finale, if I do say so myself. That would be insane. That would absolutely be wild. Like, that would be so cool. See, here's my thing with the Bad Batch. Here's my thing. If, in fact, that does happen, if Tech dies, and then you have Crosshair rejoining the Bad Batch, do you think, now hear me out, that Crosshair is actually coming back to the Bad Batch to help them do other missions? Here's the thing. They were on Pabu. They are still on Pabu. And they are thinking about settling down. Now that means if there's going to be a 3rd season, something has to change their minds. Something in this finale is going to have to make them still want to fight against the Empire, even though they're just such a small group of individuals. Maybe it's the sacrifice of Tech. Maybe Tech is the sacrifice that makes them continue their fight. But what if Crosshair wants to be done with the fight? What if they want to just go settle on Pabu and season 2 is the end of the Bad Batch? What if they just live out their lives happily ever after and that is just how it ends? What if we only get 2 seasons of the Bad Batch? It's possible. Hunter really wants to settle down and protect Omega. It is possible. I don't know. What do you guys think? Jimmy Joe says, change my mind. I think Crosshair dies and saves the rest of them. Jimmy, I completely agree. I think that's how it's going to go down. I think Crosshair is going to complete his full turn to the light side like Anakin did, like Ben Solo did, and sacrifice his life for the rest of the Bad Batch. So I won't change your mind, Jimmy. I won't do it. Bosk Ben NJPW says, why would Inquisitors be after the Bad Batch, though? Well, if the Empire finds out that the Bad Batch are still alive, they will want them gone. The same way that they want the rest of the clones gone, they're just retiring them early. If the Bad Batch know about Mount Tantus and escape, then the Inquisitors will be after them for sure, because they can't know about that place. Mr. and Mrs. Sean says, Empire will find them on the island. It's possible. Imagine Pabu just gets blown up and Fat Windu gets just blown to smithereens. That would be quite sad. That'd be quite sad. Jimmy Joe says, Crosshair's only redemption seems like it would be a death while saving the others. Yeah, I completely agree with you, Jimmy. Honey Badger says, because I think Omega is Force-sensitive clone, and the Inquisitors... Wow, hang on. And the Inquisitors are purposely tasked with tracking her down, tracking down Jedi and Force users. So you think Omega is a Force-sensitive clone? Now you're just going way too crazy. Omega is Force-sensitive? I don't think so. Mr. Sean 2000 says, because isn't the Rogue One base on that new planet? Yeah, a lot of people were saying that. They think that Scarif is the planet that Pabu is on. Oh, so you think that... Oh. So what if the Empire goes to Scarif to destroy Pabu, where the Bad Batch are, and then turns Scarif into an Imperial base? Oh, that would be devastating. Imagine Fat Windu's homeland just gets destroyed. Oof, that would be tough. Bosk Ben NJPW says, Fat Windu, question mark. If you go back and watch the Pabu episode of the Bad Batch, you'll see Fat Windu. Trust me, you'll see him. You'll see him. Honey Badger says, so I think it perfectly explains, it's perfect explanation to have the Inquisitors track down the Bad Batch, because eventually the Bad Batch have to die. I think the Bad Batch will eventually die, but I don't think Omega's a Force-sensitive clone. No. Definitely not. Definitely not. Jimmy Joe says, they could want Omega since she is the other unaltered clone. Yeah, so definitely Omega's got something going on. She is the only other unaltered clone except for Boba Fett, and the Empire probably has no idea where Boba is. Honey Badger says, yeah, I think that Pabu planet is the base that the Empire is on during the Rogue One movie. Yeah, no, it's possible that that is Scarif. And that would actually be a crazy, like, connection if the Empire comes in to take Omega and takes the planets, too, to create it as Scarif. That would be wild. Good for testing. Yeah, true. Honey Badger says, it would explain how she is such a good pilot at a young age, how the Empire, we know that the Empire messed around with Force-sensitive clones. Palpatine made 2, several clones of himself, and Snoke. So Omega could be. It is possible she could be a Force-sensitive clone, but I think she's just so good at being a pilot and has a good shot, because she could be a altered clone like the Clone 99s. Clone Force 99. She could be one of them. Like Hunter can track stuff. Wrecker's obviously like the Hulk. Tech is good with tech and a good pilot. And then you have Crosshair, who has a good shot. Maybe Omega is just all of them at the same time. Imagine Omega was as strong as Wrecker. That would be hilarious. Bosk Ben NJPW says, I remember, but I didn't know that guy was Mace. Mind blown. Oh yeah, he's Mace Windu. For sure. No, he's not, but he actually is. So I just want Commander Wolf. Commander Wolf, didn't we see him die? Does he die in Rebels? Is he? Yeah, he's on the thing with Rebels with them. Yeah, true. Yeah, we could see him. Jimmy Joe says, I'm sure Palpatine wouldn't mind having Omega to experiment on for his future clones. Yeah, it is possible Omega does get captured and spend some time on Mount Tantus. Imagine this season ended in like a dark way, with Omega staying on Mount Tantus and the Bad Batch having to flee to like save their own lives. But Omega is now trapped on Mount Tantus, being like tortured and experimented on. That would be insane. Bosk Ben NJPW says, is it bad that I want Pabu to be completely obliterated, I think it would be great plot twist. No, I think that would honestly be a great plot twist as well. I think we're on the right track. If this is Scarif and the Empire comes in and takes Scarif, Pabu's getting blown to smithereens, and it would be awesome. It would be awesome. I mean, it wouldn't be awesome for Fat Windu and the other people of Pabu, but it would be awesome. Jimmy Joe says, yes, boss, it's bad. Gonna start calling you Darth Bosk. Darth Bosk, Ben, NJPW? That's a little bit too much, Jimmy, if I must say. Honey Badger is still on this freaking Omega thing. Omega's powers could be the Force. It just makes sense. You know what? One of these days you're gonna pull me around to that theory, Honey Badger. You're gonna do it. You're gonna do it. And then I'm gonna say, you know what, Honey Badger, you were right. And it's gonna pain me to say so, but I will do it. I will do it. He follows up and says, they all have their powers, so what is Omega's? Life. I don't know. Being young. Yeah. Bosk Ben NJPW says, strategy? Honey Badger follows up and says, that's why Hemlock is after Omega. She is so important that her blood could contain midichlorians. No, I think Hemlock is after her to make Nala Se work. Nala Se is one of the best scientists in the galaxy, and she's refusing to do any work. But if they have Omega, then she will do the work. Mr. Sean says, Omega's captured, then season 3 starts a year later, which would give Palps time to research. I could see that. That would be quite entertaining and a good story leading into season 3, and would bring in more people to watch season 3. I feel like season 2 didn't really have the anticipation that it should have. Like there was no, I can't wait for this in the Book of Boba Fett season, I'm losing it in the Bad Batch season 2. There was no like, I'm really looking forward to this one thing after season 1 ended. Yeah. So if they're really going to do a season 3 and get people excited for it, they need this cliffhanger to be epic. They need it to be epic. I don't know. But what do we think this Plan 99 is? Like this last episode is called Plan 99. I gave you my prediction. I think it's a thing that the Clone Force 99 knows. It's their plan. Their Plan 99 is like a self-destruct kind of thing. But I don't know. Bosk Ben NJPW says, you said I was Darth, but you wanted Omega to get tortured. I don't want Omega to get tortured. Did I say that? I don't even remember. I don't want her to get tortured, but I'm saying it would make sense if she was there and got like her blood taken and stuff like that. Experimented on, not tortured. Experimented on, just to like create cloning and like Snoke and all this other stuff leading cloning, not tortured. Did I say that? Because that, yikes. Omega, Honey Badger says Omega has the Force. And the ship that KB takes to save Grogu. Oh, Keller and Beck saves to blah 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 blah. Let me try again. Honey Badger says Omega has the Force, and the ship that Keller and Beck takes to save Grogu in The Mandalorian is Captain Phasma's future armor, and I'll keep riding that theory train. Okay. Let me break that one down. Omega has the Force. You're wrong. But the ship that Keller and Beck saves Grogu on in this last episode is the armor for Captain Phasma. That would be wild. That would be insane. Actually, that is one character that I really hope that they develop and make better. Talking about making the sequels better, is Captain Phasma. I feel like she was just not used at all. In The Force Awakens, she's just supposed to be this big bad, and again, didn't happen. Like, no, it didn't happen. She was not scary at all. She was not an authority figure at all. So I really hope that they do add on to her story before the sequels actually begin. Her rise up in the ranks in the First Order maybe, or something along those lines. Captain Phasma would be a cool character to develop more. It would kind of be like a character, like let's say from the Clone Wars, like a Kit Fisto. And I know, yeah, Kit Fisto has very little screen time in the prequel trilogy, but he's a cool Jedi that a lot of people latched onto, and in the Clone Wars, he has a lot more of a story. Kind of along those same lines, you know? Do you know? Do you know? I don't know. I'm just getting really excited. I'm getting really, 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 really excited for this next episode of The Mandalorian. I think not only are we going to get Carson Teva. I can't believe that my setup fell in this stream. Okay, I'm getting off topic. Carson Teva is going to be in it on Coruscant, possibly talking to Mon Mothma, possibly talking to Princess Leia, and of course we're gonna get Boba Fett. And I forget who said it. I think it was Jimmy, maybe? No, it was Bosk. It was definitely Bosk Ben and JPW said that he thinks that it's going to be the on Navarro, the Pirates versus the Mandalorians, which could also possibly happen. This is going to be a jam-packed episode. It's going to be a jam-packed episode, and I can't wait. The real question is, to all of you guys, I've been watching The Mandalorian first for weeks now, since it started. It is first, and then The Mandalorian comes next. Tomorrow, though, is the finale of the book of the Bad Batch. So what do I watch first? I'm not even going to ask you guys because I'm watching The Mandalorian first because it's just way more intriguing to me. But what are you guys going to watch first? The finale of the Bad Batch or The Mandalorian? What are you going to do? Bosk Ben NJPW says, this reminds me, I was a co-writer for The Bad Batch, so spoiler alert, Omega is in the next 2 episodes. No, you just ruined the whole show for everybody. No! Wait, did that just like destroy you guys' ears? Sorry. No. He says, trust me, bro. Honey Badger says, yes, just a cool way to tie the sequels into current and past events. Yeah. Mr. Sean says, I always watch The Bad Batch first. What? You're crazy. You're crazy. You're crazy. You're crazy. Bosk Ben NJPW says, we better get Boba or I will find you. You don't have to find me. I'll be here on Thursday. I might just be hidden so that Bosk Ben can't find me. All right, now, somebody get Boba in this next episode. I'm kind of scared. Please. He is Darth Bosk Ben NJPW. Please. Nope, because I watch it on my TV. You missed my Plan 99 theory. Oh, hang on. Where was it? Where was it? Where was it? Honey Badger copy and pasted. I don't know where it was. I don't know where it was. I don't know where it was. I don't see it. You gotta type it again. Bosk Ben NJPW says, if anybody watches Bad Batch first, then they need to be checked on. So somebody go check on Mr. Sean 2000. Somebody go check on him. He's not doing well. He's watching that first. Jimmy Joe says, Hemlock wants Omega to motivate Lama Do Nala say to help create Palpatine's clones and in the end make Dathan. You're really a Dathan fan, aren't you? Jimmy J. What the hell's your name? Jimmy Joe. Have you read this book? Is this why you're a Dathan fan? He is good in this. I will give you that. I'm watching Mando first. Yeah, who doesn't watch Mando first? Mr. Sean, you're weird. Yeah, you read yeah. Dathan's only fan. Yeah, you might be Jimmy Joe. You might be his only fan. Now, I liked Dathan in this book. If you read this book, you'll have an appreciation for the character. Yeah, no. Darth Bosk. Honey Badger says, is basically what I think. What? You didn't say anything, Honey Badger. You just said, is basically what I think. I'm so confused. What is your Plan 99 theory? I don't see it anywhere. I don't see it anywhere. All right, this is a good time to mention this while he types that out. There is a link in the description below to a Discord called The People Who Love Star Wars. Go check out that Discord. Honey Badger's in there. Mr. Sean 2000's in there. We got a bunch of other fun people in there talking about Star Wars all the time. Of course, don't forget to hit the like on this video. Don't forget to hit that subscribe on this channel so you get notified, and that bell so you get notified every time I post a video. We got videos coming out all week. A breakdown video for The Mandalorian tomorrow. We got shorts. We got long form videos. We got lives every Tuesday and Thursday at either 6 p.m. or 8 p.m. This week we're trying out 6 p.m. to see what goes down. I think 8 p.m. is going to be the way to go though, because more people are just available. So yeah, that's my spiel. I have to say that all the time because people don't know about the Discord. People don't always hit that like or the subscribe button because they're crazy. But you know, yeah, don't forget to do those things. Honey Badger says scroll up. Yeah, but the Omega has the Force one? No. That's why Hemlock is after Omega? No. They all have their power. What's Omega's? No. Omega could be a Force sensitive? No. It would explain how she's such a good pilot? No. I don't see it. What just fell now? Everything's falling behind me. Just type it, just copy and paste it, Honey Badger. I can't find it. I promise you, I'm not a Sith Lord. Trust me, bro. I trust you. I trust you, Boss Ben NJPW. With a name like that, how could you be evil? It won't let me copy it. Then type it again. In Hunter, I trust. You know what, Mr. Sean? You've lost all credibility here because you watched the Bad Batch first. Exactly. Any other pieces of news in Star Wars right about now? We've kind of covered everything, I do believe. We covered all the news, at least. We covered... we didn't cover the Acolyte stuff. Acolyte, ladies and gentlemen. Alert the media. We got to talk about the Acolyte show. Acolyte. So, we got some Acolyte news. Fun. Star Wars, Disney Plus Acolyte star hypes up the new live-action show. So this image just alone, I mean, Old Republic Sith, come on. That's an instant click. But it's not going to be about that, so, you know, whatever. Okay. During filming of the upcoming Disney Plus... All right, we know that this just doesn't do anything. Okay. The Acolyte star discusses work on Disney Plus. Speaking with Collider during press rounds for Netflix's Murder Mystery 2, Jodie Turner-Smith dove into some of her work on The Acolyte for the first time. Working with her favorite director that she's ever worked with in South Korean American filmmaker Kononada. Why do I even try to pronounce names? It's impossible. Okay. Under the leadership of Leslie Headland, Turner-Smith teased that this series won't be something lighthearted like her past work. She says, obviously, the subject matter is different. It's different when everything that you're doing is lighthearted. And that's not what I was doing for Star Wars, but I was working with my favorite director that I've ever worked with so far. Not even going to try. And under the leadership of Leslie Headland. It is incredible to see, and I can't wait to see how the show turns out. She also she also notes that she won't appear on screen with leading star Amandla Steinberg. Amandla. I'm sticking with it. Although she praised the young star while noting that the series is nothing that anyone has ever seen before inside the universe. Amandla Steinberg is such an incredible performer. I unfortunately don't have any scenes with her, but I got to see a bit of what they've been doing, and I think it's going to be epic. And it's nothing like anybody has ever seen inside this universe. Kinda cool. She also was asked if she was going to use Star Wars' iconic lightsaber, to which she responded that she was not a Jedi, though she teased that she'll be using something exciting in place of that. I don't get to use a lightsaber, but I did not get to use a lightsaber because I am not a Jedi. What role is Turner Smith playing in the Disney Plus show, with Jodie Turner Smith indicating that she is not playing a Jedi in The Acolyte, which will take place about a century prior to the events of The Phantom Menace. Question will be asked about who exactly is she playing in the series. Rumors have pointed that the Star Wars series Skeleton Crew brings in Night Sisters from the animated Star Wars The Clone Wars, as the franchise dives deeper into the mystical elements of the lore. So they're saying that she could possibly be a Night Sister, which would be very, very cool because, of course, Night Sisters are going to be involved in the Jedi Survivor game and the Ahsoka show as well. So it seems as though this show could also be connected in some way, shape, or form in connection with the Night Sisters to this new beyond. So now it seems like Star Wars in general is going to be connected a lot more. So it's going to be, I think the Acolyte show is going to be epic. I think it really is. And if this Jodie Turner Smith is telling the truth that she's not on screen with the lead character, that means a lot is going on in this show, because Jodie Turner Smith is supposed to be one of the main characters of this show. And if she's not in any scenes with the main character of the show, then there's going to be a lot going on in this show, especially if it's involving Night Sisters, the Sith, the Jedi of the High Republic. It's going to be wild. What's up, Nathan? It's going to be wild. It's going to be wild. Where was I? Bosk Ben NJPW says, bro, the type of guy to watch the Bad Batch first. Exactly. Honey Badger says, the clones and the Bad Batch story end. A big ball of fire. A big ball of fire. Vader and the Inquisitors and the Empire. See, that's what you think that Plan 99 is? I put it on the Discord. Okay, I'll go check it out after the stream. Bosk Ben NJPW says, yeah, I can imagine that Vader is having a small role in the Bad Batch. No, he's going to have a big role where he comes in and just chops all their heads off. Yeah. Maybe one episode. Yeah, that's what happens. What's up, Nathan? How we doing? Mr. Sean says, MCU of Star Wars. Oh, MCU-fication of Star Wars, question mark. You mean like everything's connected? It's possible. I mean, it's Star Wars. Here's the thing. It's one universe. Everything's connected, just in general. We're talking about like a 100-year time frame where all these characters are in a galaxy together, and some of the storylines are going to be connected, yes. But no, I don't think it's going to be an MCU-fication of Star Wars. Honey Badger says, Nathaniel, welcome. Nathaniel says, finally, Nathan, I'm calling you Nathan, okay? Actually, I'm going to call you Jedi Master Jasso. Is that how you say your last name? Jasso? Glad I could finally make it. Yeah, no problem. Mike, the Discord. I sent it 10 times. All right, I got to check out the Discord. Hang on. I got to see what Honey Badger's talking about here. Oh, it's a screenshot? I can't zoom in on that. Hang on. Maybe I can. You didn't send it 10 times. You sent it once, Honey Badger. You liar. Dude, this is the smallest screenshot ever. How am I supposed to see that? I cannot see that. Let me share my screen and show you how tiny this message is. How am I supposed to read that? Okay. Try a different way, Honey Badger. Bosk Ben NJPW says, Night Sisters just make me think of the Great Grievous Massacre. Yeah, no, that was a great massacre. You're right, Darth Bosk Ben NJPW. Jedi Master Jasso says, Night Sisters were one of the only best arcs, or one of the best arcs in the Clone Wars. Yeah, that Night Sister arc where Grievous does show up and massacre all of them was quite epic. The Night Sisters deserve more time. Like, they deserve this origin story that they're probably going to get in the Ahsoka show, where they came from the New Beyond. They have this magical power that they use with the Force, all that stuff. Yeah, all that kind of stuff. Oh, it's Hasso. It's Spanish. Okay, I got you. Jedi Master Hasso. Got it. Honey Badger says Plan 99 is Order 66, but for the Bad Batch. Clone Force 99 is basically my theory. Okay, I think I get you. But then wouldn't it be Order 99? That's what I think. It's like an actual plan that they've planned out before. I don't know. Hasso, got it. Hasso, got it. Honey Badger says, I sent it 5 times on screen. Make it bigger. I'll make it bigger. Try it now. Okay, wait, look, it might be bigger. Okay, he says, I think Plan 99 is a plan. See, I did not see this. For some reason, this chat just didn't come up. I think Plan 99 is a plan that will, that the remaining clone troopers turned stormtroopers will have to hunt down the Clone Force 99, and they will have to track down the Bad Batch for the Empire. So you think that the remaining clones and stormtroopers are going to have to track down the Bad Batch, and that's what's Plan 99. I get you. We got there. But I think you're wrong. I think you're wrong. I think it's a plan. It's not an order. So I don't think it's going to be Order 99. I think it's going to be a plan that the Clone Force 99 has together. And it's going to be one of the ways that they communicate with Crosshair without actually telling them their plan. They're going to say, Crosshair, do Plan 99. And he's going to be like, okay, sure. And then they do this thing. I don't know what it's going to be, but you know. Nah, Grievous needed that dub. I'm glad he did it. Okay, sure. All right, I'm going to get on out of here. We've been going for an hour and 40 minutes. Jeez. It's been a great stream. You guys have been a lot of fun. When do we get the inevitable clone rebellion? Soon. Probably in these last 2 episodes, I would think. Boskben and JPW. I've got it literally just like that. See, you said I didn't have to say your full name, but I'm going to do it from now on, okay? Amazing stream. Glad to be here. You know what, Honey Badger? You were late. Still not over it. No, I'm kidding. Much love to all of you guys. You guys are the best. We are not doing a Mando and Bad Batch watch party just because you're late, Honey Badger. We're not doing it. Man just glitched out live on stream. Did I really? Did I? Are we live? Are we still live? It happens sometimes. It happens sometimes, you know. We get some things. No, this is not the way. It is the way. Sorry. Maybe next week. See, here's the thing. If this week, if this episode of the Mandalorian is epic, if it has Carson Teva on Coruscant, if it has maybe even Mon Mothma or Princess Leia or something along those lines, if it has Boba Fett, I will do a watch party next week. It's the last episode of the Bad Batch, though. I know. No, I mean whatever happened to you then. Oh, I don't know what you're talking about. Not an actual glitch. Oh, I don't know. All right, we're going to get on out of here. You guys are the best for sticking around this stream. I love these streams. We're going to figure out when the best time is to do them, 6 p.m. or 8 p.m. Today was 6 p.m. We're going to figure it out. But we'll figure it out together, okay? We're here for the long run, and we're here for a long time. So don't forget to hit that subscribe, hit that bell, all that fun stuff. So you get notified every time I post a video, and my pretty face will show up in the recommended feed of yours. It's going to be a fun week. It's going to be a fun day tomorrow. It's okay, Honey Badger. I was just joking. But yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. We are going to get out of here. And yes, I am 20 years old. Some people in Discord weren't believing me. I'm 20 years old. I spilt water on myself. I knocked down my setup. We had an eventful stream. Honey Badger, you have to rewind the stream to when I poured water on myself. I went like this. I said my cup's empty, and I just poured a bunch of water on myself. It was a weird one. It was a weird one today, but you know, that's what happens. That's what happens when you go live on YouTube. But we're going to have a lot of fun on this, we're going to have a lot of fun on this channel for a long, long time. So don't forget to stick around, and we will get on out of here. You guys are the best, and may the Force be with you always. What a great stream. What a great stream. You guys are the best. You guys are the best. The best. Shout out to Bosk Ben and JPW. Boom. Nailed it. Shout out to Jedi Master Hasso for his first appearance. Shout out to all you guys for being the best. Much love. You guys are the best. Have a great rest of your night. Have a great rest of your year. Have a great rest of your lifetime. And get hyped for the Mandalorian and the Bad Batch season finale. Boom. 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 Good night.